when you roll up to the start, the lights go on, and when the lights go out, for a moment, the world stops. It all started when I was 6 years old. My father took me and my older brother to a motor race in Dalsland on the west of Sweden. In the middle of nowhere, they had built a racetrack. And there I was, very close to the racetrack, next to the catch fence, and out they came. Motorbikes, men in leathers, tires screaming. They were crashing. One car T-boned another, and they took off again with the door open. Father, he's driving the car with an open door. I was totally mesmerized. One bike crashed, the rider skidding along the tarmac out into the gravel, and he just stood up, picked up the bike and took off again. I was blown to bits. I couldn't believe what I saw. And from there on, I kind of knew what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I believe that day it set the standard for my life. Everything after that has sort of evolved around racing, along, go as fast as I could, and basically overtake everybody, always. I started picking up mopeds, motorcycles, tuning them, and all the time go as fast as possible. That was the only thing that was interesting. Go faster and faster. And when I started high school, I met this guy who was actually competing. He was doing motocross. And he made me go from being a spectator to actually participate in racing. It was very basic in the beginning. I had an old motocross bike and I did sort of club competitions. Started doing rallying with an old Volkswagen Beetle. And then after a while, I wanted to do it properly. And when I was young, it was the Formula 1 racing that was really, really what got me going. Ronnie Peterson, Rainer Wissel, Joachim Bonnier, they were heroes to me. I bought an old Formula Ford and did 2 years of motor racing at proper racetrack. And that was absolutely fantastic. Then life sort of caught up with me and I had to do something different for a while. So I immigrated to Australia. I lived there for a couple of years. I discovered that maybe I don't want to have grease under my fingernails all the time. So I went to university, started to become a teacher, which I'm very happy that I did. It's a great profession. There I met my future wife, moved to Varberg. After moving here, I started do a bit of motorcycle racing again. But in 95, my wife became pregnant. My younger brother looked me into the eye and said, Magnus, you've got to grow up now. Be an adult. Give up the motor racing. He had become a father before me, so I thought he knows what he's talking about. So I sold the motorbike. And then about a year after, my wife looked at me and said, what's the problem, Magnus? What do you mean? Do we have a problem? No. You're not laughing anymore. You're a funny guy. I know that, and you're not laughing anymore. And then we sort of worked out what is the problem. And then the problem was that I was not racing anymore. I did not have a motorbike, and my wife told me, go and buy a motorbike. Just happened to run into a full-blown racing bike, and I thought, wow, for the same money that I have for the road bike that I have, I could exchange that for a proper race bike. And I got that race bike in 2002, and from there on I have only more or less been driving on the racetrack. My racing has cost me a lot of money, and I've broken many bones in my career, but it has been worth it. I've raced and won all over the world, and I met so many amazing people. The search for another overtake has for me been a great journey. I keep telling my students to be proud of their sweaty armpits, be proud of their bruises, be proud if they break a bone doing something they enjoy. That shows that you're doing something. And I believe, I'm not sure that I'm right there, but I believe that today so many people don't do very much. And I keep telling my students, do things. Get them bruises, get them sweat marks. That's what life is all about. Preparation is key in racing. There can be no hesitation about material. There can be no hesitation at any time. That's why I spend time in the garage to prepare the bike, so I know that the bike is 100%. I change brake pads before they're worn out. I check tire pressures one extra time. Make sure that the pressure is just right. Because the aim is that when I go out there, the bike is fine, I've got all the safety gear, I want to feel that I am indestructible. Because if I feel that I am indestructible, I will be invincible. I will go faster. And you feel as if nothing can go wrong. Then when you look at the lap times, you find that you've traveled faster than you've done ever before. You're in the zone, and that's what it's all about in the racing. That's the moment you search for, to be in the zone where everything comes together. next for me in life? I don't know what's next for me with my racing, but I do know that I'm very excited about it, and that I will be racing for as long as I can breathe.